it's Bree here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how to save money as a college student because we know that is hard. It's hard.
Curious butterflies.
You mean bread and butterfly?
I'm in my car at Coffee and Bagels, and that is because my room is under construction. And I just thought, you know what, we're friends, and this is advice that I would give to any friend about saving money. Even though I'm in my car, I still have good things to tell you. Like, we're gonna be chill about it, but this is some really good information that I have learned myself over the years since I started saving around like 16 or 15 years old. Let's just get right into it. I know that it probably seems like counteractive that I have caribou, that I got caribou right before this. It's kind of ironic, honestly, but I had a free drink, and so here we are. It was free. I want to start out with a disclaimer that I am not a professional. I am not a financial advisor, so I don't know your circumstances. I don't know what's best for you, but this is what has worked for me in the recent years and what I have learned over time to make sure that I save money. I am a college student at the U of M, and I'm in a sorority. Those both cost a lot of money. And as a college student, I still have a shopping addiction and a coffee addiction, and I love food. So yes, this has brought me some setbacks over time. Yet, I will say I have 0 loans. And I am in my 3rd year. I'm coming up on my 3rd year at college, so I'm still saving. I have no loans and I'm still saving. So, I mean, I don't want to say I'm qualified, but listen to what I got to tell ya, okay? Let's just start out with the most important thing to saving money, and that is you need an income, okay? So you can't save money without getting money. Yeah. Also, if I'm looking down, it's because I did that. I am prepared. I would say it's usually easier to find one, like during the school year, it's easier to find one in the cities or, you know, in a college town. There's a lot of jobs, like there's food places, you know, there's people who need assistance and like office work to be done. There's libraries, there's tons of coffee shops. There's just jobs everywhere that you don't even really realize, so you just gotta open your eyes to that. When looking for a job, you should have criteria. Like, you should have something in mind of what you want. Otherwise, you're just not gonna get the ideal job for you, even though it's not gonna be that end-all be-all job for you. Like, you should still have some criteria, okay? And for me, at least, that is consistent income, which like most jobs have. Something that's flexible. As a college student, that is something that you need to prioritize. Why can't I think? Your studies are your most important task at hand, and your employer should recognize that, okay? If they don't, it's not gonna end well for you, okay? Once you found your income, you need to check your spending. Checking your spending is really hard mentally. As someone who's a shopaholic and a coffee addict, I can say that checking your spending habits sometimes makes you want to cry, okay? But the nice thing is there's online banking now. Like, we are in a time where everything is online, okay? You can get an app, your bank's app. It will have a summary of like each month. It'll have a pie chart. This much on food, this much on this much on groceries or whatever. And that is really helpful, okay? You need to utilize that to your advantage, because if you're spending money on things that you don't need, you need to recognize that and, slow down a little bit. And after seeing what you spend money the most on, you need to realize you need to cut back, okay? You need to mentally consider that you need to cut back on that, because you need to accept it mentally before you actually do it, Otherwise, you're just gonna hate what you're doing. But you need to recognize that this is what's best for you, okay? Sometimes there's things that you can easily cut, like a subscription you don't use anymore. You can easily cut that, okay? Another thing is you might need to work on some stuff, like shopping, getting food out, like those are things that take time that you can't just immediately chop, because otherwise it might lead to something bad. This is the moment y'all have been waiting for, and that is taking action. That is taking action to fix your spending habits and fix your savings, okay? I do want to say that my biggest tip, first out of the gate, is having a separate account for your savings, okay? My mom did this for me when I was born. She has multiple savings for me, and this one I have access to. And at 16, I started immediately putting money into it from my paychecks, okay? So the thing that's really nice about jobs, you can automatically deposit stuff. You can put it in your checking account, and you can also automatically deposit it into your savings account. And the thing you need to realize about a savings account that my mom always told me that really helps is that once it's in a savings account, it's not coming out, okay? It's not coming out unless it's for something important like school, an emergency like your car blowing up, or housing. I use my savings for my sorority dues, I use it for my housing, and I also use it for my tuition. Those are the three things that I use it for, and money does not come out unless it is for those three things. You can't just switch it around if you're feeling like it. That is the one thing you need to realize about a savings, and that will change your life. That will change your spending habits. That's just my biggest tip, honestly. Oh, the way I'm sitting is so uncomfortable. I'm on the edge of my seat because I don't want to be over here, I don't want to be over there. I want to be here, okay? You need to start small in the prevention of spending. This is one of the bigger issues as a college student. There's so much you can do with your friends, with your sorority sisters, clothes, coffee, going to the coffee shops. There's so much you can spend money on, and it's really hard to say no sometimes. And I don't know, preventing yourself right away too much is gonna lead to you spending in the future. At least in my experience, when I cut myself off harsh, I want to spend more. I just think about it and I'm like, oh, I really just could spend some money on some clothes right now. It's the thought process of, I haven't shopped in forever. I could shop. I haven't shopped in so long. I haven't gone to the coffee shop in so long. That kind of thought process you need to prevent. Yeah, goals can be good. Some people do like to set goals and that's their thing. For me, I only set a hard goal for the money I'm gonna save is the summer, because that is easy. You have 3 to 4 months, college students have 4. You have 4 months when you can reasonably make a good amount of money, okay? And so for me, I calculate okay, with my pay, my hourly pay, how much I'm working a week, I can make this much. Now I'm gonna subtract a little bit because that's unrealistic to, save all of it, but I set a hard goal. Before college, I was I'm gonna save $5,000. I wrote down every week my income, what I got into my account, and then how much I actually put into my savings. And then I just recorded it, and after writing it down and seeing it on paper, it motivated me to spend less money because I just wanted to achieve my goal so bad. But during the school year, you have things to worry about. You have school to worry about, yes, it is good to have a budget, but sometimes you need to spend money and you aren't expecting it. In college, things come up unexpectedly and you have to kind of think about that. Sometimes like you're just gonna want to go out with your friends. Like sometimes you have a bad day and you need that for yourself, you know? Like in a nutshell, goals can be good, but sometimes they can be a little too much and a little too much pressure. But also, the thing about saving is you don't want to think about it as I'm doing this and then I'm done. You want it to be continuous. You don't want to just stop all of a sudden. Saving is a skill that you need your entire life. And it will be hard if you don't know how to save money. The third thing in saving money is something that everybody talks about, okay? Finding substitutes for things that you spend money on. This is especially relevant in food. You can make your own lunch. Like that's one of the easiest examples is making your own lunch. That's a mindset. I don't want to come across like preachy or whatever. This is just like how I've dealt with it. But last year, my sophomore year of college, I had an issue with spending money on Starbucks, okay? Me and my friend, my best friend Amira, we always were studying accounting at Starbucks. And I loved getting drinks. Like it felt so rewarding to get drinks. And then I found something heavenly, something amazing that changed my life. And that was medium roast cold brew that you can buy at the grocery store with some creamer, some French vanilla creamer, okay? And before I would go, I would just put that in my backpack and I would just walk there. And like by the time I got there, I was like pretty like, you look stupid if you didn't drink your own coffee. Like you gotta drink your own coffee. But the thing was, I loved it. I still love the taste. That's the coffee I make at home, that iced coffee. I love that coffee. And so I didn't feel the need to buy a drink. And by the end of the semester, I wasn't buying Starbucks when I was there. Like I would just have my own coffee. I'd sometimes get a lemon loaf because that's another craving that I have a problem with. But yeah, I was spending less money than I would getting a drink and a lemon loaf. That's important. It's just like training your mind to think differently, okay? And to liking something else that will replace the thing that you loved. Don't get me wrong, you should get it sometimes. Don't deprive yourself of it, okay? And that comes to my fourth point about saving money, okay? Don't obsess. Don't obsess about it. Like, it is so important. Saving money is so important for you to make your way through college, especially if you have loans. Like, you need to save your money on that. I just want to say that thinking about saving money too much can lead to a break in your behavior. Something I've realized is that I have an addictive personality. And I'm not saying like drugs and stuff, but I love the feeling I get when I do something good. And for me, shopping or getting coffee makes me feel good. And I'm like, oh yes, I just got some coffee. I just got like a new shirt or whatever. This is so exciting. And I need to replace that feeling because you might not realize it, but you might feel the same way, and that might be prohibiting you from saving money. That gets me into my last point, and that is replace that good feeling that you get from spending money with something else. And that could be self-care, or that could be having a bowl of ice cream at night. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. That's the important thing, is that this is about you. This is about your spending habits, because everybody's different, right? And the thing you need to realize is that this takes time, and that could be years. Honestly, I hadn't written this down in my notes, but I want to tell you that nobody has it all figured out, especially in college, especially in high school. Nobody has their funds straight, okay? Your friend who works all the time and who spends all of her money, who just always has like the nicest stuff, like the nicest clothes, she's probably not saving that much money, you know? There's a balance that takes time to happen, okay? And you cannot compare yourself to other people, because Everybody is in a different situation. You know what? It is hard. A few of my friends have like their college paid for by their parents. To see them buying all these new things, it can be hard to see. But you know what? Their life is different. You're on a different journey. You know what? Like, and to be honest, you're probably gonna be better with money than they are in the future. And that's the truth. Everybody's spending money on different things. You don't know if they're getting help from their parents. You don't know if they're not getting any help from their parents, okay? So yes, just don't compare yourself to others. And that is a huge thing that I didn't even think about until now. And I'm so glad that I told you guys that, because I have done that in the past. And it's just unhealthy. Anyways, that is it for this video. I know I hope it's not too long, because I'm looking at the timestamp on this and it's kind of lengthy, okay? But I really hope you got something out of this, and that you feel like you know where to start for you. And if you know somebody else who needs to hear it, send this video their way, okay? Because, you know, sometimes we just need a little help, a little lending hand. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Okay, I love you. Bye.